Hi, a film that I've just finished watching that I was very keen to see is Alice Winocour's Proxima. It's a new French film in a string of languages. It's largely in French, but also has a lot of dialogue in English, German, and Russian. And it's about the preparations a French engineer is taking before taking part in a space mission. Preparations being physical training, the technical preparation and study, but more importantly, above anything else, psychologically preparing for being separate from her daughter for the next year, as her daughter too has to come to terms with being apart from her mother for such a long period of time. It's a very low key film. It's dealing with big emotional subjects, but it's keeping them contained. As I think I've said before in the review of First Man, the film about Neil Armstrong. It's a film that struggled to convey Armstrong's inner turmoil because he needed to be a straight arrow. He needed to be someone who was focused and very single minded about his goal. So the lead character of Sarah in Proxima is focused, devoted, has been preparing for space travel her entire life, but also has this split loyalty to her daughter. She's no longer with the father, who's a German engineer who will be looking after her while she's at the International Space Station. So the girl's well-being is not an issue. And I did very much like that the film never tries to create any false drama about the mission itself. It's all very present day um, technology. There is some vague intimation that there is some kind of global space agency behind it because the three members of the mission are French, American, and Russian. And we're told that this mission in and of itself is not a huge milestone. It is not groundbreaking, but it is the last mission before the Mars landing. So that is on the horizon. So we're looking at only a few years ahead, perhaps. Um, so the theme of the film is the emotional toll that space travel takes on you. We're told um, that when the astronauts return to Earth after their mission, they will be taller, they will have difficulty acclimatizing themselves to Earth's gravity, they will need physical therapy and recuperation time to for their bodies to readjust to operating under gravity again, or operating under Earth's gravity. But there is also a theme of misogyny in the system. Um, Valentina Tereshkova is mentioned and how she applied makeup before going into space. And in the words of the story, it's because she wanted to look beautiful for the stars. But there is an undercurrent that women are expected to still fulfill these very traditional gender roles, even in something as cutting edge as um, futuristic space exploration. The mission commander is played by Matt Dillon, who seems to be carving out a niche for himself in playing the not terribly likable American lead in various European films. After Lars von Trier's The House That Jack Built, where he played a serial killer. And the mission commander is no nonsense, pragmatic, but there is an undercurrent of dislike towards Sarah, even though he too is going through the same thing. He's married and has two children, and he too will be separated from them for a long time. And her professionalism and the realization that they're going through the same kind of emotional ordeal means that they reach a kind of equilibrium, a kind of balance. And by the time the mission takes off at the end, something that goes absolutely textbook. I mean, it's a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler because that's not what the film's about. There's no false drama. There's no fear that something could go wrong. when the mission does happen, it's textbook. The film ends with the rocket rising into the sky. Everything is absolutely as it should be because there's no attempt to inject any kind of phony drama. The drama is in the relationship between the characters, not in whether or not the rocket's going to explode. It doesn't. If it had, they probably wouldn't have been allowed to film at all the European Space Agency facilities that they did. So I think it's a very well acted drama. I think Eva Green as Sarah is excellent, treading such a fine line in the character between emotional and professional. Matt Dillon is also very fine in support, and it's a sincere, heartfelt film about the way that there is a human cost or the human impact of technology. It's a modern film, even though it's dealing with very old feelings. So I thought it was very good, and I would recommend it.